Greetings from the newest timeline. I am Uncle Makara, all relations. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about how to deal with your cravings and what is the spiritual meaning of cravings. So craving is essentially you experiencing a void, a lack of that I am presence, that flow state, that deep present joy that exists as a baseline, very, very dormant within you. Perhaps that you have access to it at random times, but it seems to be suppressed. And this is what happens. We get handlers or people suppressing our own codes, our way towards our own awakening, right? They try to slow it down. They might try to short circuit the process, and we remain untouchable. We remain unbreakable. Why? Because the craving does not have any power over you. Because you are the awareness behind the craving. Once you can remain in the awareness, it's like the power of the sun. You guys see that? It's like the power of the sun radiating in all directions at once. And if you understand the power of the sun, do you think tornadoes or hurricanes or bad weather or a stormy season or a snowy season is affecting the sun? The sun is just untouched by anything because it is the sun. It is solar power, right? It is that soul power, S-O-L. So the sun, when it gets exposed to thoughts, emotions, different things, it's like, whatever, dude, right? I don't care and I don't know. I must rest in this space, this inner knowingness. It's just a calling back towards ourselves, right? We've been running our entire lives from this space, when really we just need the awareness and sit with the awareness, right? Like, sit with the craving. Don't give in to the craving immediately. That's called an impulse buy, an impulse drag, okay? Don't tell me you impulsed your way into another relapse again and again and again. So you got to watch the impulse. You got to watch the craving. And you notice that it has no power over you. This is difficult to do. It's easier to say in a video like this. Very difficult to do. So what you do is you just sit with it. You give it an image, you give it a color, you give it some semblance of a shape so you can externalize it and watch that craving. You watch that craving, wanting it so bad, the desperation, the neediness, the wanting to fulfill that, just that one more hit, yo. I just need that little reverse dopamine osmosis happening a little bit. Come on now, right? Your mind starts going there into this weird place. You start inventing scenarios, no matter how vintage they are in your mind. Outdated beliefs, weird, stormy ideas about potential. Now it's time to just observe it. That goddamn it would feel good to have that last piece of cake. Goddamn it would feel good, right? Oh, it feels real good. Know it, understand it. It's a sense. And our senses, our five senses, are really illusory. So an addiction is just a false way that you are accessing flow state. There's an authentic way, which is meditation, remaining in the presence, right? With that pure awareness, basking in the glow of that pure awareness. But then I'm trying to facilitate that feeling through other things around me to try to fulfill that. But nothing can match this, yo. That's what you got to get. Nothing can match the unbridled expression of truth and oneness. To be a fierce new earth leader in this timeline right now, you want to engage yourself as much as possible with not conforming to the old traditional roles and emulating something with some of the semblance of the principles that still are relevant for upwards acceleration and growth. Like, for instance, I still love some Stoic principles, and I abide by them, I live by them. However, I'm not bound by them. There's a big difference. If I'm bound by a specific set of a code or something like that, I'm identifying with it. And every time that I identify with something, it takes power away from my authentic self into that, because attention goes where energy flows, right? And so if I'm watching this movie and I'm getting sucked into the movie actually, because I start to notice that I'm reacting as if the main character's reacting. Why is that happening metaphysically? Is because you've chosen to give your energy attachments to that movie that you're watching right now, right? So it's like some cord is being generated from you and the screen, okay? The Black Mirror, okay? They didn't tell you, okay? They didn't tell you, but now you got to look into that, okay? The Black Mirror. The reason why they named that show you got to understand, okay? Scrying. Very, very interesting stuff, guys. But we got to take it one step at a time. The journey of 1,000 miles or whatever, right? Whatever that quote is, right? Begins with one single step, okay? You got to take that one single step. You got to put your foot down and be like, yo, I'm choosing to respond like this. And the next time the craving shows up, you lock eyes with it. You lock eyes with your enemy. And you remain in that presence of it. And you don't let it take power over you. Because either it will submit you or you will submit it. Because this is the real lockdown. It's ego versus soul, baby. Let's go. It's on lockdown right now. It's ego versus soul, baby. And if that ego is coming in as a threat to my soul, good riddance to that pathetic identity that feels like it needs some random thing in order to feel okay. Okay? Drugs, sex, clothes, okay? Anything external, right? Anything external that we're trying to get instead of feeling fully alive, satisfied, self-sufficient inside, internally. Because that's perfection. To me, that's perfection. What my mama calls her being a perfectionist, I don't think is perfection. Sorry, mama. Shout out to Dr. Subilito. They call her Dr. Auntie, okay? On social media. She's transformed many lives, brought many lives into the world. So yeah, love my mama. Let's go. I live here in my domain. So isn't this kind of cool though? How the sun is just like splitting me as an integrated being, like dark and light together. I mean, isn't this our path working too? Like in the colors too, like the Primal Sutra colors, right? There's something that has shifted within me clearly, right, today. And it's filled me with passion, with fury, and an understanding that I can really transform this vessel into its greatest version. I just need that momentum and that impetus. Similarly, I think you can give up on your little vices, your distracting tendencies, and bring that energy back into wholeness again. So you know you are already in union with that divine. You don't need a substrate. You don't need an artificial version to give you that same understanding. So you're trying to find God through the substance or through the drink or through this behavior or tic that you have. However, that will never match the amount of bliss and ecstasy that you will feel surrendering to the now, to that divinity within you. It will never match. We can try to make it match. Hey, heroin kind of feels like that, I guess, but I wouldn't recommend it. The issue is people treat addicts as somebody different, like they're not human. Yo, they're human. They got tricked, right? They sold their house and car over to this entity. Clearly it's an entity possession, right? Because why else is something outside of you controlling you? It's an entity, my friends. And this is why you have to learn about your own inner world and have certain practices where you don't allow this stuff to take place. so you stay aligned, so that you stay protected. And I promise you, on this channel, we work towards that brilliant ascension process where we notice all of the changes that take place within ourselves. Like, I can't even describe to you the amount of changes that I've noticed in myself and put them into tangible words, right? Because it's so experiential. You have to get that experience of like asking yourself a meditative prompt and giving yourself the experimentation space where you actually weave in and out of that state and maintain a discipline to do so, a bliss-discipline, I should say. So we are embodying the Satchitananda already. So if you're high on God and you're intoxicated by the divine, why do you need all of these other outside things to feel okay, to feel safe enough, right? To feel secure enough? How do you remain in a high vibrational state? You remain with what is important to you and what is most secure to you. Okay, so your security is something that will make you feel very grounded in your own physical space. You feel secure, right? You will notice that you're being stifled by the environment when you start resisting and you start creating this kind of social mask or this persona. And you start creating this weird social mask or like this persona that feels like he needs to talk and create conversations, or like gets pushed into this awkward space of socializing, right? Isn't that what adults do to kids? Like, just say hi, just go and say hi to them, right? And then you're supposed to like what? Figure it out? Okay? This is why we need mentorship, we need guidance, because we're slowly moving into a world where everything is digitized and everything is virtual. Right? Where's the human connection, the bro fist bumps, you know, the connectivity? Where is that? Well, the world is slowly wanting us away from that. Why? Because connection is the answer. The connection is the cure to addiction. That's why it's so valuable. Okay? It's the most valuable substance on planet Earth is connection. Okay? You know it. If you had a very loving set of parents and you understood that that connection did something to you, right? It rewired your neurology. It changed your entire system through your genetic code as you're being imprinted upon by an adult, right? So now we've got to take our own individual code and reparent ourselves towards a point where we feel wholeness, oneness again with that divine source, so that we don't constantly seek it outside of ourselves. That's the main mission. When you can consciously say that I'm going to use this thing consciously, I'm going to only do it for this many times. Like, I'm only going to have 2 drinks and that's it. And if you can be a man or a woman of your word, if you can understand that that is more than enough for me to reclaim my power, then go for it. But don't play in this sneaky, shady edge. Okay? Because the sneaky shadiness will keep you in the loop or the pattern of the addiction. You got to speak about it. Like, yo, I really love pie, bro. Pie, I can't live without pie, bro. My goodness, right? You got to talk about it like that, because honestly, like, you've been holding on to it for so long, but you've been facing it internally. So it's been an internal battle for this long. But until you put it out on a piece of paper, like through poetry, or like you sing about it, or you dance about it, or you draw or paint about it, then you will express yourself. You need that expression to come out, because right now it's depression. It's been pushed down. Okay? So you want to talk about it, and it feels safe speaking about these things. Okay? It's completely valid to have your own consciousness experience. Okay? You are the engineer of this thing. Okay? You are the psychonaut, are you not? You are the psychonaut, are you not? Okay? Are you talking about the flow, or are you living in the zone? Are you just speaking about it, or are you being about it? Yeah, you can lift, bro, but can you uplift, bro? Everybody's got an opinion. But you can't let that stop your heart song. You think I'm gonna let somebody else's opinion come in, infiltrate my entire system, throw me off course? That's just a bunch of words they're trying to get in, right? Beep, block the number, okay? Whatever, dude, right? Protect your energetic space. It is so key and so important for you to do this. Because understand, you might be taking on another person's energy, okay? And you're feeding into that power struggle pattern, and you're leaking energy from, they're taking and draining energy from you, yo. You need to take that power back. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm just reminding you, be fearless. As I was doing character development work yesterday with like Aaron Yeager and the Witcher guy, right, Geralt, and the Mask, and a few others, right, that I really tapped into, and I found the right recipe for this Makara 2.0 character, I started to realize that all these traits have been repressed within me all along. Right? The independence, the fierceness, the free will, the powerful understanding of wisdom and mastery, the zaniness, you know, of the Mask, like the crazy wild side, the cartoonish nature of this being that is Sumet Chatterjee. It's a wonderful journey, man. And if you can treat this journey like this, as we're just remembering, and we're just being as we're remembering, because if we realize that it's a paradox, we're actually returning towards a neutrality of that thing that we want, right? So if we already accept it as something so natural to us, like, yeah, bound to have a lot of money, cool, right? And it just sinks in so easily into our lives, we will be able to maintain that momentum and keep it, right? We will be able to be the embodiment of manifestors, not trying to manifest logically through my visuals only and trying to, you know, split this thing and separate this thing that I have outside of me to try to make sense of it in my mind. It doesn't make sense to me, bro. I just remember, I know that I have that within me, and the seed is germinating and blooming and blossoming until it feels so real, so natural, already evolved at that state, already complete. And then we let the process happen again and again and again. It's just a constant reminder, right? That's you maintain that vibe, maintain that upward spiral momentum, that frequency, and live through anything, man. Because we're truly untouchable, we're truly unstoppable. If you can remain in this pure awareness, nothing will be able to touch you. You can just watch this play happen and be the greatest dramaturg this world has ever known. Let's get it. Upward spiral gang, may we never be the same again. Hit that like and subscribe button. Sigma boy. Okay, let's get it. Upward spiral gang, gang, gang. Yo, boom.